So I just want to, I'll make a few points about it that make it obvious. I mean, the most obvious thing is that Assange isn't even charged with a crime in Sweden, and yet they put out a European arrest warrant and insist that he has to go there. Why can't the prosecutor interview him in the UK? This is one of the offers that the Ecuadorian government made to him. They also offered to turn him over to the Swedish government if they would just promise not to extradite him to the United States, where you have the head of the Senate Intelligence Committee has more than twice already said that he should be prosecuted for espionage, and other high officials have said similar things. So, and you have the Australian government last month, documents obtained there in the Australian press from the Australian government show that the United States was still pursuing Assange, an ongoing investigation. So there's so much evidence, it's so obvious, and if it wasn't really obvious to everyone in the world that this case was not about some allegations in Sweden, it was obvious after the UK threatened to invade the Ecuadorian embassy. And you talk about violations of international, rewriting the international order. I mean, this is the Vienna Convention. This is the foundation of diplomacy in the world. Nobody threatens to invade another embassy. No democratic country has done this in the last 70 or 100 years. And this is what they did. Does anybody here really believe that they would have done this, the UK government would have done this, if it was just about somebody who was wanted for questioning in another country, who could be questioned anywhere? So the fact that the Swedish government and the UK government and the US government wouldn't even negotiate with Ecuador to reach a solution where he could go to Sweden and face the questioning shows to me, and of course the threat to invade, this is just bad faith, and it's obvious that there's another agenda here. And I don't think we even need to go into more of that. I mean, why do they hate him? Because he released a video of US soldiers from an Apache helicopter in Iraq shooting down people in cold blood, and including 2 Reuters reporters. So this is not good. They don't like it. You know, you mentioned that why doesn't he go after other countries? Well, those documents embarrassed a lot of governments in the world, a lot of governments. In fact, they weren't very flattering to the Brazilian or the Ecuadorian government, and yet Lula was one of the first people in 2010, when Assange was arrested, to say, you know, this is wrong, and where are the other governments defending freedom of speech? You know, so maybe you have a psychological analysis of Lula and acting out as well. But the point is, any democratic independent government in South America would have done the same thing. This is a case of persecution.